Welcome back to the AI Breakdown Brief, all the AI headline news you need in around 5 minutes. Now, you guys will know that I am pretty allergic to hyperbole, but today really is one of those days where there's pretty much more news than we can possibly fit into a single video. We kick it off with the definition of getting back on the horse. Just weeks, it feels like, after they had a major customer flare-up around their AI training practices, Zoom is back with some new AI features. So first, what this controversy was before is that people noticed a month or two ago that Zoom had changed its terms of service, and it implied, or at least it seemed to non-legal experts, that Zoom was reserving the right to use its customers' videos to train its AI models. Now, Zoom at first went to pains to say that that was only opt-in, but when that didn't quell the controversy, they basically just deleted that entirely. As TechCrunch writes, Zoom updated its policy to explicitly state that communications like customer data won't be used in training AI apps and services for Zoom or its outside partners. But clearly the push to integrate AI features is too strong to back off, because now Zoom has announced that they have rebranded their Zoom IQ to something that they're now calling AI Companion. The AI Companion takes advantages of a number of different technology suites from third parties like Meta, OpenAI, and Anthropic, as well as Zoom's own in-house generative AI, and also includes a number of features. There are AI tools inside the Zoom Whiteboard, Zoom Team Chat, and Zoom Mail, but there's now also a ChatGPT-like bot that will be a conversational interface sitting inside the Zoom experience. Here's how TechCrunch sums it up. Users will be able to query the AI Companion for the status of projects, pulling on transcribed meetings, chats, whiteboard emails, documents, and even third-party apps. They'll be able to ask the AI Companion questions during a meeting to catch up on key points, create and file support tickets, and draft responses to inquiries. And finally, they say AI Companion will help summarize meetings, identify action items, and surface additional next steps. Going even farther, apparently next year, the AI Companion will even give real-time feedback on people's presence in meetings, including coaching on conversational and presentation skills, which basically seems destined to create yet another uproar when that feature is actually enabled, especially by employers who are going to see, I guarantee, employees grumbling about their robot overlords giving them critiques on how they talked during the meeting. Now, overall, this is just one company launching one set of features, but what I think it reflects is the idea that companies are going all in, that this AI tooling isn't just a hypey thing to have in 2023, but a fundamentally different type of user interface that people are making big bets on will shape how people interact with computers going forward. Reinforcing the idea that right now every big tech company is just going through a process of converting their products for a generative AI world, Intuit has launched a new AI-powered digital assistant for small businesses and consumers. Intuit Assist sits inside TurboTax, Credit Karma, QuickBooks, and MailChimp, and can offer personalized recommendations, checklists, and basically act like an assistant for financial matters. Speaking of AI products launching, as we've been following along with, in the wake of China beginning to approve tech companies to release AI products last week, a slew of products have come to market. One company that was notably absent from a lot of that news was Tencent. They weren't among the first companies to get a license. Today, however, Reuters reports that Tencent is teasing the launch of an AI chatbot through social media posts, and it appears that it'll happen at a 2-day summit that kicks off tomorrow on Thursday. Now, obviously, when it comes to China, one big dimension of that story is the battle around AI chip access. The AI chip space is dominated by NVIDIA, but that hasn't stopped many startups from trying to compete and offer something new in the space. Reuters again reports about another AI chip startup, D-Matrix, that has just raised $110 million from backers that include Microsoft. The value proposition of D-Matrix's chips is that they supposedly use less energy to process more data, and they're specifically trying to aim at the inference portion of AI processing rather than trying to compete with NVIDIA for chips that would be used to train large AI models. As part of the investment, Microsoft is also committed to evaluating the chip for its own use when it launches next year. Now, speaking of the US and China's AI tete-a-tete, the Wall Street Journal reports that the Pentagon is planning a, quote, vast AI fleet to counter China threat. The Defense Department seeks an array of air, land, and sea-based autonomous systems to keep pace with adversaries. Apparently later today on Wednesday, we are going to get a speech from Deputy Secretary of Defense Kathleen Hicks about the DoD's plans to spend hundreds of millions of dollars to develop a new array of artificial intelligence defense systems. In an interview on Tuesday referring to China, Hicks said, "We're not at war, we're not seeking to be at war, but we have to be able to get this department to move with that same kind of urgency because the People's Republic of China isn't waiting." We'll check in tomorrow about whether there is more in that speech that is worth noting. In the policy sphere, there is a major movement to put pressure on Congress to address issues surrounding AI-generated kiddie porn. In a letter to Congress, the attorneys general from all 50 states are asking for a commission that would investigate the impact of AI on child exploitation. The letter discusses the problems of deepfaked child sexual images, and the attorneys general are hoping to explicitly, quote, expand existing restrictions on CSAM to explicitly cover AI-generated CSAM. The letter says, while we know Congress is aware of concerns surrounding AI and legislation has been recently proposed at both the state and federal level to regulate AI generally, much of the focus has been on national security and education concerns. While those interests are worthy of consideration, the safety of children should not fall through the cracks when evaluating the risks of AI. This strikes me as one of those areas of AI policy where it would be extremely easy to get quick consensus bipartisan agreement on common sense updates to the rules, even in advance of more comprehensive legislation. Lastly today, we close on AI in the entertainment space. Earlier this year, anonymous artist Ghostwriter showed up on TikTok with an AI-created song called Heart on My Sleeve. The track, which was a certified banger, had an AI-generated Drake and an AI-generated The Weeknd performing and really sent the music industry into a tizzy. It was not just some cute TikTok thing, it was an unignorable force. Well, Ghostwriter is now back with a new song, this one called Whiplash and using AI versions of Travis Scott and 21 Savage. And an accompanying New York Times article says that Ghostwriter is apparently meeting with music industry executives behind the scenes. If I had to predict one industry that will figure out how to economically co-opt AI creation in their space, it is definitely the music industry. But that might not be a bad thing. Creating approved places for people to actually make AI-generated music that is approved or at least can be a part of an approval process seems like an upgrade from total bannings and endless whack-a-mole legal procedures. The Ghostwriter team has apparently even submitted Heart on My Sleeve for Grammy Awards for Best Rap Song and Song of the Year. Anyways, friends, that is going to do it for today's AI Breakdown Brief. I appreciate you listening or watching as always, and I'll be back soon with the main AI Breakdown.